Good day, my friends. This is Archangel. Hate. If you embrace male liberation, that moniker just seems to follow you around. We are simply haters. We deal in hate, we peddle hate. Only rather than calling male liberators misogynists, which they still call us, now I'm noticing a repackaging of the misogyny accusation into new wrapping, and now we are a movement of hatred. Hatred of who? Why, females, of course. It's the same old criticism, just a new angle. You see, even people that like what someone has to say, they will keep their distance from an organization labeled as hate-mongering. So I gave this accusation some serious thought. Do I wallow in negativity? Do I relish discord? Do I stir strife and turmoil? Do I proselytize hatred? Many a male empowerment warrior has asked this of himself. In fact, that is the mark of a level-headed person, to continually question themselves to assess progress, where they are in relation to their goals, or if they have skewed off into stagnation or even regression. However, I am hearing hate as the reason that male spaces are hemorrhaging males back to the plantation. Males don't really need an excuse to go back to female subjugation, just weakness to addiction, which we can all see. You can observe awakened males returning to the plantation every day. They will vent about and recover from their hurts for a few weeks or months. Then they are ready to chase their addiction again because, well, they are jonesing for some attention and a female-assisted ejaculation. It's curious, a strange sort of amnesia covers these males as they relapse. They apparently forget how bad it is for males, or they think that the matrix of male devaluation and disposability will be different this time somehow because they are aware of feminism or hypergamy. Still, these males tucking their tails between their legs and running back after their addiction, they know that they are weak, and they know how transparent their weakness is to the rest of the awakened males. So they throw out justifications to try and cover their tracks, and fake some semblance of strength that they still possess. Usually, most turncoats will simply revert to using the shaming tactics the rest of the blue pill world hurls at red pill males. Oh, you all are misogynists, you're gay, you're jaded, etc. You know the drill. Yet a new tactic I have been hearing more and more from the Benedict Arnolds returning to male devaluation is, of course, hate-related. They do not want to be associated with a hate movement. They do not want to dwell on hate. They do not want to dwell on anger and end up being a hateful person. That sounds all well and good. Oh yes, this is very admirable, but it is a diversion away from their weakness and return to addiction that they deflect by calling male liberation warriors haters, and now male empowerment is a hate movement. Now, the vagina bags that say male spaces preaching male equity are simply hate movements, or that they are haters dwelling in rage, blah blah blah, and the defectors say that they want to move on to be better people, la 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 la. Yeah, this sounds great and honorable, but you have to read between the lines to understand that this is simply their way of saying, yeah, I am a weak vulva, I need my pat on the head. Yeah, so what? Hey, stop looking at me. You can't judge me. But, oh, hey, look over there. They are a movement of haters. Look at them, not me. Don't look at me as I fall back into the ignorant, blissful stupor of my addiction. In fact, hey, why don't you join me? Then maybe we could do couple things together. Or meet at the gym for 5 minutes and do knuckle knocks and talk sports and brag about how awesome our slave masters, ladies really are. However, I have given this hate accusation a little thought for a few reasons. Because one, we need to keep from spreading further bigotry, lest we be no more admirable than those that devalue males. If we fight for equity and present male empowerment as honorable, yet proselytize male elevation at the expense of female abuse, this would be just as wrong as male abuse. Yes, there is a lot of obnoxious, rough, even downright irreverent talk about females in male spaces, but this is not hate. Many videos make light of and refer to females in very irreverent ways, but this is purposeful. We need to strip females of the pomp, the hoopla, the worship, the exaltation, the makeup, the elevation, and all the candy coating so we may truly see the creature we are actually dealing with. But if you are being fair, you will see that we are much harder on males. We are seeking to understand and augment the male creature by understanding his addiction to the female creature. So, if you assert that we are throwing rocks at females here, then we are dropping boulders on males and running them over with a steamroller. If you are going to hurl epithets at males fighting against male devaluation, then at least be responsible in your accuracy. If we are simply haters because of the things we say, then we hate males much more than we hate females. Those who call out and criticize the lunacy of feminism, this is not hatred, this is just side entertainment, which really has no effect on or cure to male devaluation. Also, most irreverent talk regarding females is merely catharsis. It is therapeutic venting of anger and past hurts towards those that inflicted these wounds upon males. The second thing we need to be mindful of is that it is easy to lose objectivity and neutral observation when agenda or vendetta run your thoughts. Look at feminism. They are so hell-bent on an anti-male agenda that they have gone headfirst off the deep end into idiocy, and they have lost objectivity to see that males are indeed worse off than females. We need to preach liberation to males and fight the matrix of male disposability, yet we need to be objective enough to acknowledge if something is favorable to males. And 3, allowing anger to fester does have negative effects on physical and mental well-being. I recall one guy who deleted his entire channel, all his stuff, earlier last year, and then came on a podcast to explain that his health was in dire straits because he was involved in male awakening, and the hatred was causing him physical ailment. Now, I think he was simply copping out, returning to female-assisted ejaculations and pats on the head. Yet it is known that if any person stagnates in anger, it can become detrimental to mental and physical health. You see, allowing anger to push one into action, such as helping others, is anger used as it was intended, as a motivator for positive change. Yet simply dwelling on anger, yes, this can fester into hate and become destructive to the well-being of oneself and others. However, simply turning tail on injustice and running, or simply saying, let the anger go, this is a license to passively endorse devaluation. So the key is to use upset for positivity. If you suddenly let go of outrage, there is no motivator for change, and we all become docile pawns as inequity rages all around us. Letting go of anger is another cop-out from the female validation addicts. Yes, you do not have to be seething irate, but do not let go of discontentment until equity has been reached for yourself and your brothers around the world. Turning your upset over injustice into a positive direction is actually good for you, your health, and the world. Next, I thought about a video that I did regarding entities that feed off of or are enriched by negativity on Earth. These entities want humans to be angry and violent, spiteful, hurtful, and hateful. They want strife and turmoil, suffering and unrest because this negative energy we give off when we suffer is like eggnog to their palate. They want us to peddle prejudice and hate. I imagine they must be getting amazing enrichment and satisfaction from feminism just as they do from traditionalism, where a few alphas abuse and cause the suffering of all the underlings, the male peasantry, the male pawns holding up the world. If anything in the Archon theory holds true, and if they do have a hand in any of the ugliness here on Earth, then I damn sure do not want to be involved in feeding them McFries, burgers, or milkshakes. I want to give them the middle finger instead for all the pain, heartache, and hardship they have caused my fellow brothers and sisters around the world. So I really have given this hate accusation some thought. Am I peddling discord and discrimination with my messages? Am I trying to keep males mired in anger and thus feeding these Archons in the meanwhile? Do I proselytize female hatred? You know what? No. Actually, if people really take the time to listen to what I and others say, they will realize that this is a movement of caring for males. Moreover, it is a philosophy of equity. We are saying, yes, please, give females the equality and responsibility to do everything for themselves, just as males must do. We're not saying kill women or make them slaves or subject them to callous male amusements. We don't promulgate rounding up females into camps or maliciously using females in an endless game of tit for tat. Absolutely, there are some irreverent messages out there, but nobody is espousing hatred or violence against females. If females trespass against males, then yes, return the favor, absolutely. They are equal beings, so they deserve equal treatment. Action, reaction. It's called physics, ladies. Hit, be hit. Offend, be offended. Trespass, be trespassed against. It's not rocket science. You see, you may hear rude speech regarding females in male spaces, yet this is males fighting fire with fire. If females speak ill of males, then males speak ill of females to show them that we will not take it. This is all posturing between two warring factions. When you have females that actively prompt such social hangouts or media groups as #KillAllMen, well, simply being the better person and turning the other cheek, yeah, this does not affect change for future generations of males that will be devalued, squeezed for utility, then discarded. Females talk ill of males, so males talk ill of females. Action, reaction. Remember all that equality stuff? Okay then. Tell me, what should we do in the face of male devaluation and disposal? Sit in a circle and chant, hoping that things will get better? So I think we are actually being very humane in our male spaces by preaching equity. I have indeed uploaded a few videos in which I make light of female motivations or draw female anatomy in a comedic light, in the same fashion that everybody paints male genitalia, including a very recent one entitled Females Work in Mysterious Ways, in which many questioned the spirit of the video and wondered if I'm getting more female abrasive in my messages. Indeed, I have been said to be at the extreme edge of male empowerment, accused of being a fringe radical. Just as with other videos, I put out the Females Work in Mysterious Ways with purposefully ornery insinuations as part of a deeper test. I intentionally imply females as being selfish and airheaded in that video, yet at the same time, I outright call males pathetic and weak and disgusting. I make irreverent references to females defecating, yet I outright call males chumps. In many videos, I soft pedal female irreverence and I supercharge male reprimand. Yet people will question me as a female hater, even though I treat males much more roughly. You see, my purpose, what I was effectively seeking to point out, is that I can throw a verbal pellet at a female, and suddenly I am a hater involved in a hate movement, and people are unsubscribing. Whereas I can pull out a verbal machine gun and mow down males, and nobody cares. This is called female elevation and male devaluation. People are still white knighting and enacting social justice warring against all ill content of videos on behalf of the collective feminine. Well, gee, why does nobody get up in arms as social justice warriors or white knight against the male attacking content? You see, I was working on this video before Females Work in Mysterious Ways, yet because I wanted to prove the point of continued female elevation and male devaluation even in male spaces, thus I put out that video with purposefully obnoxious overtones to prove that everybody is still white knighting for females and not caring about males, even if it's in the recesses of their own thoughts. Moreover, I have plenty more irreverent content coming for the purposes of awakening people from complacency. So, do we hate females? Is this a movement of hate? No, absolutely not. If anything, we express more angry and hostile words towards male enablers than towards any females. But nobody complains about that. Still, when all is said and done, when I move on from this world, whether next week or next year, what would be most valuable and important to me was, did I make this a better place? Did I truly help others? Did I make anything better? You see, I want to empower and uplift others. All others. I want to be proud of my works of passion. I do not want to spread negativity. I have to deal with it, yet I do not want to pass suffering on to others. I want to make a positive, enriching footprint while I am here. And thus, if I am dwelling in discord and hatred with my messages, then I must indeed contemplate, then rectify them in order to empower others. So I have contemplated my messages, and I do find some purposeful irreverence, yet at the end of the day, the goal and the message still remain righteous. The rectification of male devaluation and expendability thrust onto males. Males did not ask to be disparaged, mocked, and discarded. So I must educate with harsh words to elucidate this tenacious problem, this intolerable bigotry. So, to be clear, I do care about females, just as I do about males, and I do not see either as lesser or greater than the other. If I am being labeled for the purposes of discrediting me, then at least be accurate with criticism. Amongst my messages, there is more evidence of misanthropy than anything else. Because, well, look at the human creature. Can you really be surprised in my cynicism? But then, if I dislike all humans, would I even bother getting my messages out to the world? Or would I instead live in some remote, mountainous region where I roasted marshmallows every night over a campfire and prayed for Armageddon? So, my writing about male liberation, my making of male-empowering videos and messages, and simply stating the fact that I seek the welfare of females also, this proves the misanthrope accusation as being wrong. Well, mostly. Moreover, we who are peddling our angry, woman-hating messages are the only ones showing true care for females, since everybody else would be happy simply playing the game where females use males for utility while males use females for their fairy tales. It is simply a big game of usury. I care enough to come in here with my smack talking in order to cause the breakup of unjust usury so both sexes will be compelled to grow and expand. And this is a positive thing, not negativity spreading. Could I play nicer? Could I phrase things a little more pretty and politically correct? Sure. But I am here to effect change, and I find more effect in using 2x4s to make a point rather than feathers. Though I am skilled in tact and use it when necessary. If you think I am a hater because you cherry-pick irreverent references to females from my videos, yet ignore the deeper caring that I display, then you are not truly hearing my messages. So, no, this is not a hate movement. Working to overturn injustice is not hate. Hate is what caused the injustice in the first place. This is a revolution of caring for the downtrodden, and it is ultimately caring for females as well by pointing out their sloth and greed and compelling them to grow and become better people, which ultimately contributes to their welfare, and this demonstrates care for them. So, really, those who are leaving and calling us a hate movement as they run, they are actually the harbingers of hate. They hate that we don't enable their fairy tales by listening to them vent, then assuring them that unicorns do exist. They hate that we don't accept their objects of addiction into our spaces with open arms and modify and censor ourselves and our sermons around their breasted addictions. They hate that we won't include or reconcile the Matrix and their slave masters into our messages. They hate their own weakness for needing to run back to the drug dealer, and they hate the strength of those who still fight. In the end, when I look back, I will see that my messages were meant to empower. I deal in positivity. I promulgate betterment for all. Other people fight other injustices. I fight this one, and together with all various peoples from all around the world fighting all various forms of injustice, we are all doing our part to elevate the human from animal to enlightened advanced being who treats others the way they would like to be treated. If we all behaved in accordance to that simple statement, then there would be no need for laws or governments, because we would care and provide for all, equitably, fairly, and lovingly from our own moral beliefs without having to be policed so we do the right thing. No, I do not peddle hatred or stagnate in discord. I seek the betterment of all, both sexes around the world. I am leaving this world a little better than I found it by educating and liberating the mind, soul, and heart of one brother at a time. There is no hatred here, only caring in one form or fashion. For I find that when I truly look into the eyes of another being, when I truly connect with another, I have nothing but compassion, whether it is a male, a female, or an animal. Sorry folks, male empowerment is not a movement of hatred. It is a revolution of caring through the righteous overturning of injustice. My friends, stand with me, live free.